I think most people know websites are a big deal, but I think a lot of people, when they think about making changes to their websites, they totally miss the point. They have this broad perspective of all these huge changes they should make, when really there's a lot of little things that are actually really impactful that you can change and tweak and adjust and improve on a website. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to take one of our students' websites and I'm going to walk through some of the fine tuning, the tweaks, the improvements, the enhancements that I would make in order to make their website more impressive, more engaging, and that will convert better, to turn a potential client into a full paying client. Hey there, I'm Katelyn. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is a place where we love to empower photographers to build both profitable and purposeful businesses while also letting you in to the behind the scenes of our everyday life. Today, I'm just going to dive in. I'm going to just jump right into one student's website that has a great foundation, but that I think I could offer a little bit of advice on how to improve it quickly and easily. All right, so originally I said I'll do a website or two. But what I found is that there's such a need for this. I posted this in our Facebook group, our KG Education Facebook group, for people who would be willing to let me critique their website. And there's over 200 comments almost instantly. So I know that this is something that, especially this time of year, that people would love to hear from me about. And not just me, but I think people are just desperate in general for any type of feedback or ideas for how they can make their online web presence more effective and will convert and will bring in more clients. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go over some first impressions of homepages, and I'm going to try to do several homepages so that you guys can really get a lot of examples of things that may apply to you. I know there's hundreds, maybe even thousands of you, and I can't go through everyone's site, but if I can do a home, kind of like a homepage first impression and give you some quick tips, that is my goal for this episode. So this website, I think it's beautiful. This is the homepage though. And the homepage, I mean, the work is just gorgeous. The first thing I thought when I saw this was, oh, this must be the menu bar. Like, it just at first glance, I thought this was the menu bar because it's an area where a lot of menus are, and because it's one word at a time, it looks like something you would click. But then I realized, no, the menu is actually here. So that's something that is not hugely detrimental, but it could help conversion. It could help people stay on your site longer if we pay attention to, okay, it's not super easy to click around. It's not super easy to figure out exactly where I want to go next. The next thing that I thought was details is normally a sublink on a lot of different web pages, or websites. So a lot of people have, let's see what this person has. This person has home, about, services, portfolio, contact, blog for photographers. A lot of times services could also be called details. So the first thing that came to my mind when I clicked this main homepage was, oh shoot, I'm on a subpage. When really this isn't a subpage. This is diving into talking about the details initially. And I think it's almost jumping the gun. Like, hey, we just landed on your website. We don't know who you are. I haven't seen your face yet. I want to know about you first. I'm not ready to talk about the details because I don't know anything yet. So love the colors here. I would make this image a detail shot. Maybe it doesn't have to be from the same wedding. I would also try to change it up, just because even though this is gorgeous, like her makeup, her dress, everything's gorgeous. We want people to know that we've done more than one wedding. Even if we haven't done more than one wedding, we're going to find ways to make it look like we have. Because once you get to about here, it becomes very obvious that it's the same bride. Again, these are gorgeous, so use them a lot, but let's break it up a little bit. Let's put a detail shot, like a white, bright ring shot. If you don't have one, use a fake ring off of Amazon and shoot your own. But if this was a white background, really beautiful, like stone shot of a gorgeous diamond, it would break up some of the busyness. And her eye socket's a little bit dark here. Her face is a little bit dark it's just not the strongest image, like with her face here. So if this was a white, clean detail image, oh, it would look so beautiful. So that's kind of like my first impression. My first impression overall of this site is, one, your work is beautiful, but two, I still don't know who you are. So if I want to know who you are, I got to find the menu button and I need to go to About and There you are. And you're so cute. So Jamie, hi Jamie. This is a great example though of someone who's landing on your homepage. They need to know who you are as soon as possible. So I love this picture of you. I love it even more than these other two. Let's put this picture of you on your homepage. Okay. As soon as they land, let's go back to home. As soon as they land on here, I think this should be a, hi, I'm Jamie, and have a picture of you right here. So don't dive into details first. Let's let them see your face first and do a welcome and let them know who you are. I think that would be best. Okay, so great first impression. Overall, I just think your work is beautiful. These small little tweaks will make your website 10 times more impactful. So, okay, let's move on. All right, so we're looking at this site. This is the first thing you see when you land on this website. Now, full screen images are beautiful. They're highly impactful. However, you have to weigh that against, are people going to know what to do? I think it's a trend for people to know to scroll. But I wonder if, because I mean, this is a really big logo, I wonder if it would be even equally impactful if instead of this being full screen, like full, full width, if it was more of a hero image, which a hero image would be more along like this size, right? So if we had some images that were more size, like that's still just as powerful as when it was full screen, in my opinion. So having a hero image like this with your logo in the negative space, in my opinion, I think that might be more impactful. You have to think about every time you're asking someone to do a step to get to a place of taking action, you have the potential of losing them. So starting like this, yes, it's like, oh, beautiful work. But they have to read to scroll. They have to know where to go. So I'm not saying the full, screen image is bad. I'm just saying it might be worth considering if we could just make it a hero image like this and put your logo over here. The other thing is, because this is Silver Orchard Creative, we have a lot of explaining to do. So I know, because I'm a wedding photography educator and I've looked at your site already, I know that you do weddings and family photography, and that you are a photographer. But when you see the word creative, especially in this day and age, we're not really sure what that is. Sometimes creative could mean that you are a creative company that does design work for a bunch of different clients. We're not really sure. So we have a lot of explaining to do, and we haven't seen your face yet. So when someone lands on your site, we have a kind of a blanket, not vague in a bad way, but a blanketed, vague business name that doesn't really tell exactly what you specialize in or who you are as a person. So we have to dive in really quickly. As soon as we get off this, immediate like landing page, they need to see your face. They need to see your face and say, hi, I'm so-and-so. Because look here, this is great. This is really good. Good first impression. I wanted to say, hi, I'm Jamie, but I'm reading this and I'm realizing I still don't know your name. I still don't know your name. Who are you? You're so cute. I still don't know your name. Right. So, now if I go to about, I get it. I go to about and I say, oh, Christine. Beautiful. Love that name. You're Christine. You're cute. You're photogenic. You have a beautiful website with beautiful work. But I think your homepage is doing a disservice because we got to get people off of here. We got to get people past here. Then we got to get people here, and they still don't know what your first name is. So again, I think that's why critiques like this are so helpful, because you may not even realize that that's a huge miss, but we want to know your name and we want to get to know you first. The other thing I noticed, and I don't know the story of your business, but if you're going to have, this is prime real estate, right? So on your main website, people are going to scroll at least to here. If commercial for you is providing 50 to 60% of your income, and that's where you want to head, that's the direction you want to head in your business, then by all means, let's keep it like this. But if commercial is just something you offer on the side, because you've already said you do weddings and family, but now we're scrolling and saying, here's some wedding portfolio, but also I do commercial, and this is just prime real estate. We got to figure out what our focus is, right? So are we advertising mainly weddings? Like that's where you want to head? Well, then let's cater the whole homepage towards that, and then give people some options for commercial and family a little further down, like right around in this area. Like scoot something, add a little, a canvas, That's what we call it and show it. But not a canvas maybe, but just a section. Like it could be something like this. It could be something with this kind of design that says something about like, I also offer family photography and commercial. But it feels to me like this section, I'm not really sure what your specialty is or what you want your specialty to be. And it's okay if you don't know that either. I'm just saying from a website perspective, it seems like you do it all, but I don't even know your name. So this is my recommendation. Let's see if we can make this a hero image. So when people land on your site, they see an image this size with your logo over here. And then as soon as they scroll, they see a picture of you and you use this area to say, hi, I'm Christine. So nice to meet you. And then in this section, you talk through what you specialize in. If you want to specialize in family or weddings or commercial, this is where you talk about what you, who you are, why you love doing what you want to do. And you can also use some keywords and talk about what you want to specialize in. And then it comes down here and whatever your first choice, like maybe you want to be a high-end wedding photographer, that's what we're going to promote here. And then maybe families would be here. Commercial and family and weddings. Family and weddings are very normal to put together. Commercial is a huge shift, completely different target market. So commercial advertising, I just don't know if it's going to, if it should be right here on your website, if I'm being honest. Now, when I go here, this kind of feels like a menu bar to me, but I see as soon as we get to right here, that is when this pops up, which I love. I think this is beautiful. And it's another reason why I don't know how effective this is, right? It's impactful because it's huge, but that's the only thing it has going for it, right? I think this is really, I think this is really helpful. So I'm kind of in the camp of getting rid of the full landing page and kind of rethinking that. And then you get to here and you have some great blog posts that people could go click and see. But I would say after you get here, either let's talk more about you again. Let's add a section or two, because the normal approach to web design is to just keep scrolling. Like you just keep scrolling down. Like that is what people are used to. That's what modern web pages and web designers are leaning towards. So if you can, let's add some more sections. Let's not end their experience just seeing the journal. Let's have a section where you talk about, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity if you're talking about wedding photography. And so here's a place where you can contact me and put a button. Give them a call to action, and maybe a call to action more than just head to the blog. Okay, so I know I'm taking so long, but that is kind of my first impression here. Your work is beautiful. You should be so proud. All I'm doing is giving some suggestions on how your website can highlight you and make you look the absolute best that you truly are. So let's move on to do another one. All right, so Kevin and Allie, love this logo. I think it's beautiful. I think first thing I thought, now this could just be me, call me crazy. I'm a redhead, so maybe I'm a little bit, I worry about this a little bit more than normal people would. But the first thing I noticed was, man, she's got really orange hair. And I don't know if that's because of the tungsten, if there was tungsten light, or if because she just really had orange hair. But this is what I'm finding. The more that I'm in the photography industry, the more that I realize for some reason, people, when they land on a website, the immediate thing that they think is, can I relate to this? Can I relate to this? And is this something that I want? I didn't know it scrolled, and oh gosh, I think right like this. I think it should start like that. I think this, oh my gosh, yes. This is what we should start with. You have really cool negative space right here, beautiful detail shot. It speaks to the fine art aesthetic that you have. You have good negative space here, which means it pairs next to this busy background here. That's gorgeous. This is gorgeous. I think when I landed on here, and this was the first thing that I saw, and now maybe if I reloaded it, it would land on something different every time. I didn't try that out. The first thing I thought was, oh, people are going to be turned off by her orange hair. And maybe I'm wrong about that. But gosh, I look at this and I think, oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that's beautiful. People who want a fine art wedding photographer, who love gorgeous, kind of historic fine art details, they're going to love this. It's speaking to what your brand is already saying as soon as I land on your page. So let's start with them seeing this first, and not this. The other reason why I don't love this is because I feel like we have peachy warm whites here, peachy warm whites, a little bit of orange hair, but peachy warm whites here. And then the whites of this image have more of a green yellow undertone. So I was going to say, if you want to keep all these as the opening 3 images, let's make this black and white. All right, so that the tones are not competing. But when I see here, I see it just flows seamlessly. So let's make this the starter. And then you know what's coming next. I think we should see a little bit more of you. And you may be thinking, no, Katelyn, we're right there. Right. I'd love to see this change. Like if at all possible, could we make this so as soon as you land here, you see this beautiful image, but then it immediately fades to you guys like you maybe your arm around his neck and your face is really close and you're just laughing genuinely at the camera. We need people to feel like they love, oh, Kevin and Allie, love them. Photography duo, they live in Jersey Shore. I got to work with them. We want people to see your faces and fall in love with you. And even though you look beautiful here, I don't feel like I'm getting to know you when I see that photo. But if faded to some other photos of you guys laughing and I could see your faces, I think that might make me want to click here and get to know you a little bit more. So this looks great. I love that overlay. This is beautiful. If you could, I would take these into Photoshop and make all of them gray, just because this red and this blue kind of devalue and make this area seem a little bit busy. If you could add a little bit of space from like here to here, it would also make everything look a little less busy. I'm not sure what platform your website is built on. For people who use Showit, that's super easy. But other people who have coding or you have to have like dividers that you can slide in, it can be a little more difficult. So I understand that, but that's just a little recommendation. And then in this setup here, I love this. I think it's beautiful. This is my favorite image, probably because of the car. I would add at least one detail shot here. Maybe this could be a detail shot. Honestly, because her skin tone is a little bit orange compared to the rest of your skin tones, maybe this could just be replaced with a vertical detail shot. I know you have beautiful detail shots, so I'm not worried about that at all. But if you have a detail shot in this lineup, it will break it up and make it look more editorial, and it's easier on the eyes. Okay, so great first impression. Kevin and Allie, love it. This is gorgeous. Let's make that the starter. All right. So first thing I thought about, and I know I just talked about, full image starting like landing pages that sometimes they can take away. But the reason why this I think works better than the other one is because this gives you options of what places to go. It also says the name of the person and the brand. And it gives you a menu bar at the top. So photography with heart. I love this because, I do think it should auto rotate because these are powerful images, or maybe it's different every time you land. I love this image so much. It's like this beautiful photojournalistic approach to weddings and love and that's gorgeous, and relationships. So you are super talented, Hannah. I love it. I would keep this because you have places for people to go. This was, I remember what I thought about this. This is captivating. Everything about the images that you're showing, I wouldn't change any. I think they're powerful. But as soon as you get to here, it devalues you, and almost instantly. Okay. And this is my favorite thing about website critiques is that I get to tell you, like, my first impression of you was that this is probably some of the best work that I've seen in a long time. You can just tell, like, you were just gifted. But when I scroll here, gosh, I'm just overwhelmed with the busyness of it all. And when you have someone that has such talent, but has a website that's kind of killing it, taking away the impact of your work, I love calling it out because I want you to get the attention and the credibility that you deserve. That's the right word. Okay, so your world is unique. Your life is beautiful. I love the messaging. I really do. But I think as soon as we leave here, we need to just go to all white. We need to go to a simple vertical image, maybe with another overlaying square just for design purposes. And it just says, "Hi, I'm Hannah. It's so nice to meet you." and then go into explaining some of these things. It could just be a paragraph. You don't have to have these big clusters. You could explain in one paragraph, one section that takes up this whole space, explain what you're trying to explain here and here and here. You can simplify it. You don't need all these words, but we need to see your face immediately after this. This is too powerful and too engaging for you to scroll into this, because I don't know what you look like. I don't know what you're offering. I'm seeing a whole bunch of stuff. Whereas here, when I'm clicking through, I'm like, oh, this person knows their style. They truly photograph with heart. Everything that I'm looking at is just so genuine. I love all this. And then you get here and it's like, where the heck do I look? I have no idea. So let's scrap this. Let's make this all white and then go into, if you want to do a collage or something after that, that's totally fine. But I don't want you to lose people after this. Is too good to lose people. And I think you're going to lose people here. So that was my first impression. All right. I think all this should be kind of grayed. Like if we could make all these logos gray, it would make everything look more editorial and high end. Follow me on Instagram could be probably 100 times smaller for design purposes, and these squares could be smaller so we could see more of them. But overall, you got a good thing going. So let's not make it cluttered and lose people here. That's my first impression. You're so talented. Congrats, Hannah. Love it. All right, so Heather Crump, love this welcome. This is beautiful. If you can make the background header fade and it shows you kind of doing your thing, or just you smiling at the camera, just so we can see you, like if this background image faded into you, that might be cool. Quick first impression. We got to go into a white space here, not a cluster of images, because this is so beautiful and captivating, but just as I scroll down, try to pay attention to visually what you feel when you see this. It's a lot. Like you don't know where your eye's supposed to go. You can keep this. This is beautiful by itself. It's just not beautiful against this. So my recommendation would be, and this is a Show It site, I believe, take this box and make this box start right about here. Actually, make it start right about here. So there's nice white, negative white space here to break up some of the busyness. So make this box that's right here, just move it up and take this whole banner of images and make it start down here. And then continue on, because this is gorgeous. This is great. I do think we need something linear to break up in between here, because it kind of goes from having full screen to tinier, which is not ideal, but gosh, I think it would make a huge impact on the design. So overall, just switch this box with this section. It will look so much cleaner. All right, so first impression of Courtney's site. Courtney is a sweet photographer that we've connected because we have children very close in age. I just wanted to show you, I love her site. Visually, the use of white space, negative space is perfect. Like I look at this and I'm like, oh, I can't wait to scroll. Also, I wanted to point out that it is so impactful to have images that are clustered together that are of a similar style. So similar color tones. If it's from the same wedding, great. Doesn't have to be. But taking the same color palette and piecing those type of images together makes a really big impact. It looks so much more editorial than if you try to take a bunch of pictures from a lot of different weddings and piece it together. Now, I know it takes experience and more opportunity in order to have clusters of images like that. If you want to be able to do images like this in clusters that match, I would say you create a beautiful bouquet, like maybe when tulips are back in at Trader Joe's, or ranunculus or white roses, create a bouquet that is a style that you like, really good good colors, nothing too bold, right? And then take some shots like with a white background, with a white kind of ceramic vase, maybe something that looks really, clean and classy. Shoot that bouquet, and then use the flowers like in the background and do a few ring shots. You could order a fake ring from Amazon for a couple bucks. You want to make sure it looks somewhat real, but you can get rings that no one would be able to tell that it's fake, and shoot that ring with some of those color tones in the background, but it's blurry in the background, and then maybe do another close-up of just one floral stem. And all of a sudden you have this beautiful, like kind of like trifecta, combination of images that you could use in a grouping like what you see here. So if you're brand new and you're like, Katelyn, I have no idea, like, how do I make my website look cohesive like this? I don't have images to use like that. You can create some detail shots, at least to get you started. Okay, so wanted to point that out. She's got a great site. I also wanted to point out this because she looks high-end, fine art, beautiful. It's gorgeous. But then you really feel like you get to know her and see her beautiful family and what's important to her in life. And that is so important. So if you're a photographer that feels like I have a family, I have kids, and I can't show that because people aren't going to think I'm relatable, that's a lie. That's a lie. I can say that because from my experience, people want to feel like they get to know you. And if you're hiding the most important part of your life because of what you're afraid people will think of you, people can see right through that. So let people see your life. Let people see your family. Love it. So I'm really showing this not to critique it, just because I really think it's beautiful, but to show you a great example of clustering images together. I would make one of those a detail shot potentially, just because this light, and that light are all a little different. That's my only critique, really. So, but also wanted to show you and emphasize again to let people see more of who you are, because I don't think anyone would think that this image is a fine art image, but it surely lets you into their life and feel like you're getting to know them. And I love that. Okay, so I think I have time for one more. All right, so I wanted to quickly show you this as just kind of a last tip that may help somebody. This is a beautiful site. A lot of times photographers are not designers, and I get that. But I came from a background where I thought I was going to be a graphic designer before I was a photographer. So even though I don't have formal training really as a graphic designer, I do have experience in that field. But I am really picky about certain things that a lot of people in the photography industry just don't even notice. And so it might be helpful to show you a little something that I noticed on this site. So this site has the potential of just, I love it. I think it's a great layout, good negative white space, great hero image, great logo and header menu bar area. But there's a few things that are killing it. So like this, as far as where your eye goes, this is really distracting and kind of devaluing the image here. And it's not even necessary. Like it says, welcome. Kylie Henson Photography is dedicated to capturing beautiful, timeless moments of your story. Learn more. And then we go back and it says, welcome again right here. And we could basically use all of this and just put it right here. So this is distracting us from the beauty of the image, and visually it's causing a lot of busyness on the page. So I say, let's just get rid of that. And then I look down here and there are simple things that can make the design of a site looks so much better. So I want to show you a little tweak that I did in Photoshop. Okay. So this is before, this is after. All right. So before, and for some of you, you may think, Katelyn, that's not a big deal, but in my mind, from a design perspective, I think it is. So don't look at my Photoshopping here. I just quickly got rid of that box. So now when you look, your eye comes here and then it falls down to seeing her picture. Instead, here you load the page and you go, what is that distracting box over there? But going from here directly down to here, I just I overlaid the box a little bit. You don't have to do that. That was just something I was playing around with. But if you'll notice, I pulled the welcome to align over here. I scooted up the learn more. I just created a little bit more of a consistency in the spacing between here and here and here and here. So this is what it was before. It was kind of a hodgepodge of alignment. And then I pulled it together and centered it and made her picture a little bit bigger. So I hope that some of these things you recognize, these are little tweaks. These are little things that could make a huge difference in the first impression of your homepage. If this was helpful for you, let me know in the comments below, because I would love to do more of this in the future. I have literally dozens and dozens of other websites that I could use to do this and to walk through other first impressions. So this was just focusing on the home pages. There's a lot more we could dive into, but for the sake of time, we're going to leave it at this today. But let me know your thoughts so that we know how to cater and evolve this type of episode in the future so that we create content that you love and that's helpful. I hope that watching this made you realize maybe in your own website, little things that you could tweak yourself that you don't need a designer for. Maybe if you're watching this and you're overwhelmed because you're thinking, I need to change all those things in like 10 other things. Maybe you're ready for a huge overhaul and it's not just about little tweaks for you. If that's the case, and you are not a designer at all, most of us are not. I definitely am not. I would highly recommend looking into purchasing a customizable template. Now, my designer I've worked with for 8 years, she's incredible, but she's not taking any more custom design clients. And also, custom design is extremely expensive, but you can have the look of a custom design site that makes you look professional, but also isn't a carbon copy of anything else by using some of her templates. So my designer's name is Jen Olmstead. She owns something called the Tonic Site Shop with her co-business partner, Jeff Shipley. They have amazing designs that I'm obsessed with. Now, I have a beautiful site that I love that she has done, but every time they release new collections, I think to myself, what business can I start so I can use some of these templates because they're that beautiful. So not only are they beautiful, they also are made to convert. So they are created and designed in a way to take people through a journey on their site and ultimately take an action. So I hope you'll check out Tonic. I have a link at the bottom of this video where you can learn more about them, but also I have a code that you can use. Just put KJ sent me in your checkout and you'll be able to take 15% off.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.